Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a budget with some pen and paper. I know there's a lot of fancy budget apps and Excel spreadsheets that can be used. I personally enjoy using an Excel spreadsheet at the time, but before that I was always a pen and paper girl, and I still like to write things down before I actually transfer it to my Excel spreadsheet. And I know budgeting sounds like a very daunting task, but it really isn't. It's very simple. But it does take a little bit of time and adjusting, and you have to be willing to do one. So if you're new to my channel, hi, Debt Free in 123. My name is Brittany. I have been on a debt-free journey for about 13 months now, and I started with about $13,000, and I'm down to about $8,500. So I am credit card debt free. I only have a car loan left, and that is what I'm working to pay off right now. So if you're not new to my channel, this video may sound a little repetitive to you and things that you already know, because most of you are on your debt-free journeys already and you know how to budget, but I figured some people might run across my channel who don't know how. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. And a couple of things that you'll need. Number one is just some paper. I just have this little black notebook that I got from Walmart. It was 97 cents. You really can't go wrong. You just need some paper, you need a pen, and I keep everything in one binder you guys have seen before if you aren't new to my channel, my budget binder. So in here I have a calendar of each month that I write my bills down on, and then I keep this notebook in here. It has the 3 hole punches, and then I also keep bills in there as well. So, but for the purpose of this video, you just need a pen and some paper, and I will show you guys how to get started. Alright guys, so to start off, you're just going to take a clean sheet of paper and write the month that you're budgeting for at the top of it. I am using the month of August because that actually starts tomorrow, and this is a mock budget. I'm using fake numbers just so I can show you how to actually budget. If you want to see my actual budget, I do have several videos of me going over on a bi-weekly period. For this video, I'm showing you how to budget monthly. So if you want to see bi-weekly and my actual numbers, go ahead and check out some of my other videos that I'll link down below. So I've written August budget of 2016. This particular notebook that I'm using has my 2015 budgets in it as well, so I like to put the year just so I can always reference back and know exactly where I was. And since I'm in a new year, I need to know that it was 2016. So after you write that on there, you're going to go through and write down your categories. And I do want to apologize in advance. I'm left-handed, and so my hand's going to block a lot when I'm writing, and it also hits the binding of the notebook right here, and it's very annoying. So I'm sorry in advance, but okay, so the first thing after you write down what month you're budgeting for, you're going to write down your income for the month. And this number is estimated by, you can go back the last 12 months and get a good median of what your income is. I like to do low instead of high. That way if I do have more, then that's always better than not having enough. So I'm going to say that at minimum, I make $3,000 a month. So I've written that next to my income. I'm going to skip a line down, and then I'm going to write down the words regular expenses. I also apologize for the noise in the background. I've got laundry going, so that's what that is. So I write down regular expenses here, and then I simply start listing all of my regular expenses. So things that don't change. You're always going to need to eat, and so I'm going to write down groceries. You're always going to need gas for your car, or tolls if you don't drive, or Ubers, whatever you have to do to get from place to place. So I'm going to write gas down there. I'm also going to put in parentheses car, because I don't want this to be confused with a gas bill, because some people still have a gas bill and aren't all electric, and so I'm going to write car next to gas so we know what that actually means. Some other things that are inevitable that you have to pay for is your electric bill, also your water bill. If sometimes your water and trash bill are together, and so I'll write water/trash on that one. I'm also going to say a phone bill, so I'll write down phone, because most people have that. Most people have to pay for insurance. That could be car and own home insurance. Then a big one that never changes is your rent. So I'm going to write rent down. Another item I'm going to factor in here is storage unit, because I know I used to have one, I don't anymore, but that was a fixed regular expense that I always had to pay each month. So what you really want to do here is go down and you can look at old bank statements, whatever it is that's going to help you to show what your expenses, your regular expenses are every month. Things that don't change, things that you have to pay, things that are not optional. So this is all of my regular expenses. So before I move on, I'm going to go through and list out some amounts for those regular expenses. To start off with groceries, you need to decide how much you want to spend on groceries each month. And if you want to know a good estimate, go back through your bank statements for the last 6 months or a year, total up every time you spent money at Walmart or Aldi or wherever you grocery shop and you know that that expense was groceries. Write all that down, divide it by the months, and then you can see how much per month you're actually spending and what you need to be saving if that's how much you, or what you need to be putting back for if that's how much you want to spend and you don't want to cut back or put more towards it. So for groceries, I'm gonna say $250, and this is per month. This is not bi-weekly. I'm using per month values for the purpose of this video. So I'm gonna spend $250 per month on groceries. Gas for my car, I'm gonna put back $150. My electric bill is going to be at maximum $120. Another good way to get a better number for that, again, go back to your bills for the past 6 months or a year and you'll have a good idea of what the median number is that you have to pay each month for electric is, and that's what you can spend on your electric or save for your electric. And just know that you have to be realistic about this. So if your electric bill is $150 a month and you say you want to get it down to $50 a month, it's probably not very possible for you to knock your electric bill off by $100. So be realistic about what you're actually holding back for your bills. Water and trash, I'm gonna say that bill is $85. Phone bill is $110. The insurance for my car and the home together is $100 even. My rent is $650 a month. That's a fixed. I don't have to do any math on that. That's just what it is. And my storage unit is going to be $42 a month. So from this point, I like to total everything together. That way, whenever I'm adding it up all at the end, it's a little bit easier because then I can just add all the categories. One thing you may want to do that I didn't mention earlier was have a calculator ready. So we have 250 plus 150 plus 120 plus 85 plus 110 plus 100 plus 650 plus $42. Okay, so your total in regular expenses so far is $1,507. So from this point, we don't have to do the math yet, but you would be subtracting the $1,507 from your monthly income of $3,000. But we're going to wait and do that at the end for everything so you can kind of see a better idea when you're budgeting how to do it. So next thing I'm going to write down as far as a column is the word debt. The debted debt. Dreaded debt. Okay, so I'm going to write down a column for debt, and now you're going to write down all of your debts. And I would suggest doing it smallest to largest, but it's not super important to do it like that. Just every single debt that you have listed out. So I'm going to start with a car payment. And then I have credit card number 1, credit card number 2, credit card number 3, and a student loan, the dreaded student loan. So here's all my debts listed out. So now I need to write down what my monthly payment for these for these debts are, my minimum monthly payment. So my minimum car payment is $350 a month. Credit card number 1 is $20, credit card number 2 is $25, and credit card number 3 is $35. My student loan minimum monthly payment is $112.13. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other column and add all of these numbers up, and I'm going to write the word total right here and put what that total is. Okay, so I'm going to clear that out. So we have $350 plus $20 plus $25 plus $35 plus $112.13. So that gives us a total of $542.13 that goes towards debt every single month in your monthly payments. So what we're going to do after this is write down all of the things that aren't expenses that are for fun. So I'm going to write a category, and this is going to say extras, because these are not regular expenses. It's not debt. I don't have to have these taken on my budget. This is a personal want of things that I want to do. So the first category I'm going to write down in the extras is eating out, because I don't have to eat out, but I like to. So I want to allow myself a little bit of money per month to eat out. The next thing I'm going to write down is shopping, because I like shopping for clothes, but you can't go crazy with it, so everything has to be budgeted for. So I like eating out, I like shopping, and then personal spending. I want to have a little bit of personal spending money to where I can do whatever I want throughout the month and not feel guilty about it, because it's going to come out of my personal spending category. So for eating out, I'm going to spend $55 a month. For shopping, I'm going to spend $100 a month. And for personal spending, I'm going to give myself $100 a month. So then you do another total category, and that of course is going to be $255 on extras. So now that we have everything that we have to pay for listed out, and again, you guys are probably going to have other things that I don't have on here. This is just an example. This is just to show you what we're actually going to do to do a budget. So let's go back up here to our income of $3,000, and we're going to get our calculator back out. So I'm going to type in 3,000 because that is our monthly income that we're working with. And I'm going to subtract all of my totals, so 3 categories of totals. The first one was $1,507. The debt total was $542.13, and then my extras is $255. And when I hit equal, whoop, I just did that. I exited it out again. So let me redo this very quickly. $542.13 and $255. Okay, so that gives us a leftover amount of $695.87. So in this particular budget, there is actually a lot of disposable income left over according to my income versus all of my expenses. And just for the purpose of this video, and it might help you out if you're new at this, just so you know where you got your numbers, over here on the right hand side of the page, a little far off, I'm going to write total expenses. And for that number, you're obviously going to add up all of your total columns. So the 1,507 plus the 542.13 plus the 255 equals $2,304.13. And so I'm going to subtract that from my income, which I'll write on the line above it, which is the 3,000. And then I'm going to subtract those from each other to give me what my extra income is. And that is $695.87 per month that can be used for other things. Now, as far as the number up here, $695, the goal of a budget is to have every dollar budgeted for. Every dollar needs to have a name. Every dollar needs to have a purpose. So we want a zero-based budget. So how we're going to do that now is to add in a couple of things that maybe we didn't put in here. So I'm gonna first obviously go towards the debt column, because my personal goal is to pay off debt. So if I can add a little bit more money each month to some of my debts, then that will take off a little bit of the $695 of extra income. So my suggestion, to not overwhelm yourself, is just look at your smallest debt and write out how much is on it. So in this scenario, credit card number 1 is going to be the smallest debt that I have, and I'll write out here to the side of it that it has a balance of $564 left on it. Credit card number 2 has $650, and credit card number 3 has $1,000. So my student loan, I'm going to say, is $13,000. And then my car payment, I'm going to say that there is $11,000 left to pay on it. So writing down the amount of your debts can be helpful whenever you have extra income. That way you know where to put that money. So if we can look here, credit card number 1 has a balance of $564 left. And so I look up here, and this particular month I have $695.87 left over in my budget. So if I can actually pay off my smallest debt, which is credit card number 1, because it has a $564 balance on it. So what I'm going to do is get my calculator again, and I'm going to take the 695 extra dollars and subtract 564, because I want my debt gone as soon as possible. And so I'm going to subtract that out, leaving me $131 extra. So that will actually take off, which when you're doing your budget, it was there, but now, sorry guys, now that we are paying it off, I'm just going to write on here paid off, because we're going to pretend like we made a payment of $564, and so now credit card number 1 is gone. And so now we just have 2 credit cards left, a car payment and a student loan. So the debt snowball in Dave Ramsey's terms, that's how it works. You pay off your debt smallest to largest. So now I still have an extra, let me put you over here so you can see, minus the 564, which leaves us with 131.87. I still have an extra $131.87. Well, maybe this month you have decided you want to go shopping a little bit more than you normally do, so you're going to add $100 extra to that. And so that would give you $200 in August for shopping. Maybe you're doing some back to school shopping, whatever it may be. So now I'm going to go back over here and subtract out $100 from my extra money, since I'm putting that towards shopping, and that's going to leave me with $31.87 extra for the month of August. So with this number, now that this number is this low, you can do 2 things. Number 1, I like to leave a little bit of cushion in my account, and so if I need to leave that in there just in case there's a couple of $10 expenses or $5 expenses that I didn't plan for, this cushion is still in my checking account and I can use that for little things that come up. Or if you want a truly $0 base budget, I'm going to take the $31.87 and I'm going to additionally put that towards credit card number 2. So we're going to do the balance of credit card number 2 is $650, and we're going to subtract an additional $31.87 from the credit card. So that would make our budget completely zero based, because minus, we're going to go back over here, I'm going to subtract the $31.87, and that leaves me $0 left over for the month of August. And that is our goal, to be zero based, because we've covered all of our expenses, all of our debt, all of our extras, and then we came over here and we just simple math subtract it all out until we got to $0, and every dollar has a name now, every dollar has a purpose, and when you're intentional with your money, you're going to start winning. So, some other examples of where you could put this money, it's truly whatever stage you're at in your life. If you want to go on vacation and you have that $695 left, put that in your vacation fund. If you have all the money saved and you don't feel like you need to save any more money, put that extra in your personal spending or shopping like I did. You know, your income is your biggest wealth building tool, and it's also, that's just what you're working with. And so you can do whatever you want to do to make your budget work for you. But always make sure you have some financial goals set aside to work towards. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless to budget. You know, if you're doing so well with your budget, let's have some goals. Let's say we're going to be debt free by this date, or we want to pay off this much money towards that each month, additionally past the minimum payment. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my monthly budgeting video. I hope that this was something helpful to you. If it was, please let me know down below. If you have any questions, also leave those on this video and I'll be happy to answer them. I try to get back to everyone that leaves any comments. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.